What's up, girlies? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a middle part quick weave. My husband and I are off to Chicago for some alone time, so you know I gotta give good hair in the Windy City. Since I'll be wearing a middle part, I find my part first, and then after that I move over to the left side of the part to carve that hair out. And once I'm finished here, I'll do the same to the right side. For me, doing it in two separate parts ensures that I have an even amount of hair on both sides of my part, and also that my part is exactly where I want it to be. Now that I have my part all set, I'll give it one final look and then move all of my leave out of the way. And then we're moving on to the edges. For me, I always pull my hair out of the quick weave, just because in my experience, whenever I put my edges in the quick weave, they always pull in a weird way that makes it super uncomfortable for me. So going forward now, I just always leave my edges out. This is not necessarily for track coverage, because the way that we lay the tracks, they're gonna cover themselves. This is just for my own comfort. Now, usually when I do quick weaves, I like to braid my hair down, but in this case, we were literally getting out of town in the next 12 hours. I still had to pack, I had to pack the kids' bags and everything, so I didn't have time for braids. I ended up using two ponytails in the back of my head, and then the hair that is hanging out, I just braided it, and then I put them across each other once I put the wig cap on. I think I do prefer braids, but in this case I just didn't have the time to do so. As a result of my ponytails, I did have a bump in the back of my head, but only I could feel it. You couldn't, my husband couldn't tell that this is what I had done underneath. There was no visual bump in the back of my head. It was like I could feel it when I put my hand back there. So if you have longer hair or thicker hair, then this might not work for you. You might want to do some kind of other braids, but for me, especially because I was in a rush, that's what I went with. Here I am going ahead and putting the protective layer down. I choose to put it on my hair first because in my experience, once you put that wig cap on, it becomes a bit harder to see where your hair starts and stops. And I definitely, especially around the edges and my part, I want to make sure that every inch of my hair is covered by the protective layer. So that's why I put it on my hair first. And then you see me here putting the cap on once I let it dry for a little bit. So after I put the cap on, then I'll go ahead and apply a second layer of the protective layer to the wig cap. Once I've done that, then I go in a second time with a blow dryer and just let that dry down. For me, I tend to do my hair in 2 separate days. And so this is the end of night 1 in the morning when this is fully hard and dry. That's when I'll go in and put my tracks in. Doing it in the morning also allows me to double check any areas I may have missed once the product is fully dry. Here is the hair that we're going to be using. She is beautiful. This is raw Indian curly hair. I used this hair in a previous install, so it's a little bit chopped up, which I don't mind because I'm getting ready to chop it up some more, so no worries. Here you see me just kind of laying out how I want the tracks to fall. That first track, I am going to take it up on the side just to make sure that it covers everything it's supposed to. Because this hair had been previously cut, I had to do some maneuvering around it. So on one side, I'm taking it all the way up to my leave out, and on the other side, I'm kind of leaving it down by my ear, and it's just because of how it was previously cut. So in the end, it's fine. It all evens out nicely. And then I just continue through the rest of my head. I learned now, recently, to not put glue on the tracks, but to put it on the protective layer instead. let it get tacky, and then place your tracks where you want them to be, and then just work in sections. That is much easier and neater than trying to get the hair on the tracks. Also, because I forgot to mention, I am doubling my tracks, so I need more glue, you know, on the protective layer to stick 2 tracks versus just the 1. In the end, I ended up getting 3 bundles in my head. I no longer know what inch this is. I think these started out as 26, and just over all the styles that I've done, I just kind of keep chopping away at it. So I don't know how long it is, but it's cute. In this next scene, I am just cutting out the wig cap. Be very careful. At this point, I was frustrated and I could not find my bathroom scissors for anything, so I had to use the kitchen scissors just to get it over with. And then I eventually found my hair scissors. So this is the install, all super full and beautiful. If I wanted to really finesse this texture and make it look nice and wear it as is, I could, but I wanted to go with big barrel curls in my middle part. So we're gonna go ahead and blow her out. I am using my round brush to apply tension, and then I am using my blow dryer on the high heat. By blow drying the hair first, you're kind of getting a head step on the flat ironing process. So if you don't already do this, definitely do it. It changes the game. Off camera, you guys don't see me use any kind of serum or heat protectant, but I did use the heat protectant from Chi, and I also used their hair, it's not hair oil, it's like a serum of some sort, but it smells really good and it is amazing. So I recommend those products. And look at this hair. Once it's all blown out, you literally cannot tell the difference between my hair and this raw Indian hair. It's just so pretty. I always get curious, like once I blow the hair out, if I could do like a flexi rod set or something on it, you know? So that might be something for me to try one day. Now I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We are getting to the last steps of our quick weave. Now I'm just taking my leave out of the braids and then blow drying it into the hair. You can see what I was talking about the hair texture just matching so perfectly. Like from here, if I wanted to do a flexi rod set or something, I totally could. I could do a braid out and everything would just flow so pretty. Before we get into flat ironing, we're gonna clean that part up one more time before we set everything in place with the flat iron and the curls. So just making sure that part is super straight. And now we are on to cutting. I love this part. I am not a great cutter. I've never gone to beauty school. I am not formally trained in any kind of way. The experience that I have is just the experience of doing my own hair. And at this point, I'm kind of fearless about like just going in with scissors and cutting. I have a vision in my head of what it should look like. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you, YouTube. And I just try to recreate that. So here you'll see me just kind of chopping away. I am very careful to make small, short cuts. And in between every single cut, I'm just like combing, checking, combing, looking at it from all angles just to make sure that we are moving in the right direction when it comes to the cut. So that's what you'll see in these next few clips. Remember, if you're gonna do this, to take your time, play with it, comb it, run your fingers through it, everything. Just take your time when you're doing it, okay? And make small cuts as you go. Please do not make one giant cut. Make small cuts as you go. That way, if you need to clean something up or you need to adjust, you have the space to do that. So of course, everything that I do to one side, I'm gonna go in and do to the other side as well. I will say I'm right-handed, so me trying to cut with my left hand was definitely a task. I had to check in the mirror a whole bunch. I had to have my husband come help me and make sure that the back was totally even, because my left hand just couldn't my left hand just couldn't comprehend. So yeah, definitely be even more careful with your non-dominant hand because things can go wrong. Okay, so after we have the cut how we want it, I am going in and straightening my hair. I apologize for this clip, y'all. I swear I was recording straightening this whole half of my head, and then I look up and the camera is not even turned on. So I don't have clips of me straightening the hair, but here you can see it straightened out. It silks out very nicely, and still you cannot tell the difference between my hair and the Indian hair. It's just so beautiful. It's so pretty. And like I said, I have used, this is my third install with this hair. And I have hair that I've had for like the last 6 years, 5-6 years since I first started ordering hair. So it's definitely worth the investment. Look at that silk. Beautiful. And finally, y'all see how the screen lightened up? It's because we are at the lights at the end of the tunnel. Finally, as the last step, I'm going in and doing big barrel curls. I actually got this curling iron. It's a T3 curling iron. I think this is 1.5 inch. I got this curling iron for my birthday finally, because I have been begging and begging my husband for it. If y'all don't know, these irons are a little bit more expensive than what you would usually find, but they are so worth it. When I say me and this curling iron go together real bad, I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. So definitely invest in a good curling iron when you have the opportunity to do so. No shade to the beauty supply curling iron, because I rocked that joint for years, literally like the last 10 years. That's all I've been using until I got this T3 iron, and I'm over the moon about it. I love it so much. To curl my hair, I am sectioning off smaller sections, hitting it with some hairspray, and then curling the hair. I will admit, curling my hair is like an area that I want to grow in. I want to get better at, because I don't always feel 100% confident in the method and the results. But on this day, I got it right. Like, I got it so right. And I think it's a mix of like me cutting the hair, using better products, and then also curling a bit better. So to curl my hair, I curled everything away from my face, except for when I got to the second to last piece. So I started curling my hair in the back half, and then I moved forward on one side. Once I got all the way up to my leave out, that second to last piece, I curled it in the opposite direction of how I was curling every other piece. And that's because when you do it that way, when you curl it the opposite way, it prevents the hair from becoming one big clump, and you end up with a lot of body right there, because the curls, they're going two separate ways. So when they kind of smash up against each other, they don't combine, they just stay full. So that's why I did it like that. You'll see the results in just a second. It ended up so pretty. You see me smiling? That's because I know I did it. I did my big one. Get into it. It is so pretty. Like, this hair is beautiful. Like I said, the hair, the products, the tools, everything was acting right today. And I definitely gave good hair in Chicago. You guys can check my Instagram for a few pictures of our trip. We had an amazing time. Definitely on the list to revisit. So once I curl my hair, I kind of comb everything out. I do find some pieces that I need to recurl, so I'm just touching up a few pieces here, curling everything, combing it out, and really just kind of spraying it and adjusting it to how I like. Like I said, we're off to the Windy City, so I want hair that moves, that has body, that is just like, you know, it stops people, it makes them stare. That's the kind of hair I was going for, and that's definitely what I got.